Warning. The following podcast contains explicit language, honest opinions and a sense of humor. Welcome to the Brothers Take.
Hello everyone and welcome back to our podcast. I'm Chris, joined by my brothers Adam.
Hello.
And Eric.
Hello.
And we are back in the room to talk more about video games. We really are talking about video games this time. It's not even like a big wider topic or a console or anything. It literally is specifically games. I suppose we're at the end of the year.
End of an era.
The beginning of a new. And I always find this kind of shit interesting. Like if you're a Spotify user, at the end of the year you get a thing called Spotify Wrapped, which is and it shows you the song you most listen to in a year and the artist you most listen to. And sometimes that's really surprising. I actually found the song that I listened to was really surprising to me. I liked that song, but I didn't think it was the one I'd listened to the most. And I was like, holy shit. And then you're trying to look back, it's like, is that because I liked it so much? Or did it just come up on shuffle a lot of the time? Or is it because it's the first song I had this year? And as a result, it got played a lot in the year? I don't know, so I find that interesting. But there's a cool feature. So, a lot of people are probably looking back on their year. There's a cool feature that Adam found on the PS5. He's not the first in the world to find it, but of us, he found it and told us about it. And it shows you your PS4 games from the last generation and how much time you actually spent playing them. And in a similar way, it can be quite surprising. Have I explained that right, Adam?
Yeah. It's like you're right. Like it's so interesting looking at stats. Looking at the different things. Like everyone's always interested in it. It's like even in the current situation where you're looking at COVID. Like some people, we're all like looking at which country has the most cases. There's just something oddly satisfying about looking at statistics and seeing how does it relate to reality. But yeah. We were just looking through the PS4. I think the Xbox has always done this. I think I'm not. Right. It was actually it was a much requested feature of the PS4, and it's so weird that the PS4 to this day still doesn't have it. But yeah, you can check how long you've spent on the previous games you've played, and yeah, we're just gonna look through and see which games we ended up playing the longest, because that's really interesting. Because you never think it's really hard to judge what game you end up spending the most amount of hours with. But I think it'd be fun to try and guess each other's longest playing game too.
Yeah, we should do that. Okay, so we're probably going to we're taking a look at top 5. We might point out another couple of interesting ones here and there. That might not be the most hours, but it's just I never thought I spent that much time on that one or whatever it is. So we'll list off the top 5, but we'll leave the number 1 to last, and that's the one we'll get everyone to guess, because I think it's going to be kind of hard to guess. I'd say your 5th spot is probably whereas trying to guess your number 1 spot. I mean, I have a certain theory about what Adam's would be, but having him talking about how surprised he was, now I'm like, oh Jesus, maybe I'm totally wrong. Just based on the way we've talked before. So this isn't necessarily our most played games of all time, but this is our most played PS4 games, based on what our system is showing us at this time. If you are listening to us on YouTube and you have a feature like this, you could jump into the comments to let us know which games you have played or sunk the most amount of hours into. And if you're listening to us on audio platforms, you can get in touch on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Brothers Take, again, to let us know which games you played the most of. And then also you can just share us your thoughts on the games that we end up bringing up, whether you're surprised that there are games that we have played a lot of, or if you enjoy them yourself, or it's a game you think you would like to play as we talk about them. But anyway, without further ado, let's talk our most played games. Okay, Yeah, that's not the melody.
It should be though.
It should be. I'm rewriting the song. Let's change it. Okay, so I don't know where to start even, but there's one. Before we get into like the top 5, there's one I want to point out that as I was going through the list, really caught my eye. Really, really surprised. Like really surprised me because I thought I'd given up on this way earlier than this. Right.
All right.
And that is, as I was going through, I came across how much hours that I supposedly put into the Phantom Pain.
Oh, really?
Right? And I was like, this can't be true. It can't be, because I hated this game. I loved the start, like the hospital sequence.
We all hated this game.
And then I hated everything after that. I hated the episodic vibe of it. I hated the non-Metal Gear epic storytelling. I hated this game. And I say that as a hardcore Metal Gear Solid fan. I love Metal Gear Solid. So like it broke my heart to not enjoy this game.
Mm-hmm.
I spent 20 hours playing the Phantom Pain. Now for some people that's not a lot. They probably sunk a lot.
It really, Chris, that's like,
that's baby numbers, man.
Yeah, that's
Come
the
on,
equivalent. That's the equivalent of just like, okay, I load up the game. I'm on my helicopter. I select a location, and I wait for the helicopter transition to just get to that location. That alone is the 20 hours. You haven't even played it yet.
Yeah. No, like I'm not like again. That's why I'm not saying I have spent a long time playing the Phantom Pain, but it's surprised me because I thought it was maybe 5 hours.
See, I think as well. Yeah, I'd say technically you only played maybe 10. I'm not joking. I think most of those hours are accumulated by just waiting for animations to be over.
Well, like, you can't have 10 hours
the transition of just waiting for the fucking helicopter, getting into the helicopter, going into like the, what do you call it, the aerial base or some shit like that, to select a mission just to go back to the fucking helicopter loading screen to be able to wait for the helicopter to stop and then get off it. That is a ridiculous amount of time.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, that is long, but there is no way for every hour I play there's an hour of waiting. That's not true.
Like, in all honesty, yeah, because it fucking takes forever. Like, you get into the helicopter and then it's hovering there for ages and all the fucking enemies are shooting at you. It's like, just fucking move, you dumb pilot, and then it starts to fly away after you're dead.
I think it was definitely taking my time at approaching scenarios and trying to get in stealthily and trying not to get caught, and then getting caught a lot and then trying to lose them and then start it all over again, and you're going, what the hell? How are you supposed to play this game? Which was one of my big annoyances. But like, there's so many options in the game, but I felt like as well, it was like there's too many options to the point where there's no options. It almost becomes like there's just no way to tactfully actually approach this. Mm-hmm. Or at least that was my impression of it. Like, I felt like Snake Eater was a game that I found I had lots of stealth options, but there's also like a very clear way to approach actually playing the game.
Yeah.
And Phantom Pain just felt like, I don't know, a buffet and you don't know what fucking course you want.
Yeah.
Just to come back to food references, I suppose. But that's just an interesting one I wanted to kind of point out. Is there any little surprising ones you want to point out before we go for the top 5?
I didn't take note actually, so
I just took a few.
I don't know.
I did create the list and then I deleted all the. I took a list of all the ones I played the most.
Yeah.
And then I deleted most of them just to have the 5. But For Honor was actually a little bit like, it's the online Ubisoft game where you can play as knights, samurai, Vikings, or the Wulin.
Yeah. I don't even remember you playing that.
Oh, I played. This is gonna make you feel like read about it for 20 hours.
Right, go on.
I'd also give perspective of the fucking side.
Well, I will say of the three of us, I probably play games the least. In the last 2 years, I've played a lot more than I did in the last 6 or 7 years.
If I remember the number correctly, I think it was 126 hours.
No.
That's not. Oh Jesus! Oh lads, yous are gonna be so like surprised at how little mine is. Then 126 hours is only something worth noting.
Yeah, that's not
what the fuck? Do Do you like that game? You've never mentioned that game.
I've mentioned that game before. I actually really like the game.
We're on episode what, 46?
Oh, he has mentioned
this podcast.
it. Yeah,
I
I
have
have
never
mentioned
heard him mention For Honor.
I do like it.
126
I think-
hours.
Dark Souls 3 is like 106 hours. So I was really surprised that I did more for Honor than Dark Souls 3.
Well, yeah, I am too. I fucking hell. Never mind then, guys. This is gonna be very different. Everyone's at the end of this. It's gonna be, Chris, you even fucking play games, man. Like, what the fuck are you doing on this podcast?
Fake gamer, man. Fake
gamer. Yeah, phony. Well, that's another thing. Actually, I've only had a PSN account for. I didn't have a PSN account at all. I've only had one for 2 years, 3 years.
Really?
Yeah, so like mine is not accurate at all. At all.
But surely you had a PSN account. Definitely. You didn't have PS Plus, maybe.
I don't know. I really don't know. I literally just popped in a game and played it.
You can't actually have an account on, like, you would have had an account on the PS3 and stuff, and even the original PS4, because you can't actually have an account unless you have signed up to the PSN.
I don't know.
So however long you've had PlayStation Plus, you would have had a PSN account.
Okay, well, I didn't have PlayStation Plus for all that long.
No, that was only in the last 2 years, I think.
What's wrong with you, man? God, like, next you're gonna be saying like all of your hours are like under 100. Like,
I'm super casual.
Super cash.
Well, you joke about that. Most of them are.
Oh, this is gonna be so funny.
Most of them are. I'm gonna be like, lads, you need the fucking work.
We need to
more. Fuck's
These
sake.
are rookie numbers, Chris.
How do you have enough fucking time to play fucking games? Anyway, Adam, is there something you'd like to like point out or something you'd like to make note of?
No, I actually I
just
can't.
spent 1,000 hours on on Worms.
I can't remember. I only have my top 5, so I can't remember the other ones. I think I was going through them. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, I think Spider-Man would have been maybe 60 hours. I think Horizon was like 100. No, it wasn't 100. It was like 80 hours or something like that. And I was like, those make sense because apart from just playing, I think they both would have 30-hour campaigns, but you would, to collect everything, and those are 2 games that would have platinumed. So that makes sense that they would take that long. So no, nothing else stood out. My top 5 definitely stood out though.
Yeah. Fucking hell. Oh god. I'm talking baby numbers here then, guys. I'm talking serious baby numbers.
You need to up your numbers, Chris.
Baby numbers.
My numbers.
126 hours. I'm like, it's like, yeah, this was kind of interesting. I'm like, what? That's like max for me. Are you kidding me?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It gets worse just on the basis of like, I don't imagine. How did I play?
Yeah, Eric plays obviously the most amount of games.
Big time.
I'm ashamed of them.
I say he's like quadruple. This will be an eye opener, really.
I
think my hours are healthy.
Mine are really healthy. You guys. Mine are like, he's got other responsibilities or something.
I mean, I don't remember playing that amount of hours for these games. Oh fuck.
Yeah. I suppose as well, that's the other thing is like, this doesn't kind of include everything, and if you've played games...
No, it absolutely doesn't. Yeah.
No.
Like, this wouldn't take into account all the hours spent on the PS3,
all
the hours spent on the PS2.
Yeah, because like, I wanted to point out, like, for example,
holy shit.
Like Final Fantasy VII is one where in this platform, it says 17 hours played on the PS4, but I also played that on mobile, on PS3, and on PS1 multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyway.
Actually, that was one that stood out to me, because I think that mine would have been about the same, but I was surprised that I spent that long with it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, on the PS4, because I haven't cleared it. Like, I think I bought it the day that remake was announced.
That's
and I
right.
played,
They released the
and I played a little bit of it, but I didn't actually get far. I think I would have gotten as far as Costa del Sol, you know?
Right, yeah.
I think it's the first time I played and cleared it. So I seen the whole story in after I played and cleared remake. Yeah.
But I still think 17 to 20 hours or something was my count for that.
Yeah.
Spend that long, like, just to get to Costa del Sol, though.
Yeah, it's a long
I think,
game.
That's surprising, I think, because I don't think it's that long, is it?
No, that means you were doing plenty of grinding, I'd say, or that the Chocobo, catching a Chocobo mission
I
might
don't
have
remember it taking
taken a bit of time.
I don't remember it taking.
I don't know what you were doing. What were you doing, man? Like, why didn't you?
I mean,
like,
let's take into account that you're like, oh, I only got the Costa del Sol. I don't remember taking 20 hours. Chris like played fucking no time in Phantom Pain and got 20 hours.
But that's the thing. He played no time in Phantom Pain though, and it took 20 hours. That's the thing. Like Chris didn't clear Phantom Pain.
No.
Chris didn't even get as far as Africa.
No, I don't get. No, I don't go.
He didn't even
he
get
loaded
Afghanistan.
it up. He loaded it up, and it took 20 hours to load.
I spent 20 hours making a character. I went, what the fuck is this? Mass Effect? What the fuck? And then I left.
Oh, it's sad, actually. Mass Effect would be great.
But anyway, yeah, let's go from spot number 5.
Okay.
I'm gonna go first because mine are like, it's gonna be like, I'm like, wow, look how many hours I put in, and then you're just gonna be like, bitch, please.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Even whatever Eric says, I guarantee whoever's listening is still going to think that those are rookie numbers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
What Eric says?
Yeah.
No.
Definitely.
The people who are listening?
Yeah.
Let us know if you're listening. If Eric's hours are rookie hours. Mine definitely are.
Pump those hours up.
Pump your hours up, man. Yeah, you know what? I always like
quit your job, play more games.
I've played loads of games, and I usually like play the narrative and play it multiple times. I just never take note of how much time I've spent into it. And now look at this. I'm kind of, for some of them I'm embarrassed. Not that there are too many, but I'm like, that should be more. I feel like I played that way more than it's showing me.
Yeah, but that's like I was saying to Eric is that so my the Nathan Drake trilogy, right?
Yeah.
That is quite low on mine. Like it's not even on my top 5 list. But you see, that's because I played it way more on PS3, where it wouldn't have taken account. So all my memories of playing it are actually PS3 playthroughs.
Yeah.
And I think I only cleared it once on PS4.
See, I'm the same way, because the Nathan Drake collection on my one, it's at 26 hours, right? And I'm like, okay, that's 3 games. 26 hours of 3 games, that's not accurate. But then I'm like, okay, I've played it on Ash's account as well, multiple times, because she's played through them a few times.
Which wouldn't be yours. Yeah.
It's not mine, so it's not counted. And then it doesn't obviously take into account the multiple times I played each game on the PS3. Yeah. So there's like, the Nathan Drake, like, it should be higher, but as a result, it's actually not. So that kind of shit, I think, is interesting. But so my spot number 5, and this surprised me, and it's probably not a lot of hours, but I feel like it's a lot of hours for the game that it is, and I really didn't think I played it all that much. At 63 hours, Mortal Kombat 10.
Fucking hell!
Wow.
Yeah, okay,
no, I didn't think that at all.
Right? It surprised the fuck out of me, because I'm
I
like,
didn't even know you played. Like, I know you played a lot of Mortal Kombat 9, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I played quite a bit of that.
I didn't think you played much of 10.
Neither did I.
Isn't 10 free now?
10 came with the PS Plus collection, yeah.
Is it just the ordinary one or the extra large one?
No, it's just the ordinary one.
I
don't have the extra large one.
Would they not give you all the characters? Like pussies.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were asking me what version I played.
No. You played the ordinary version because we played.
I don't know what the PS Plus one is, to be honest. I don't know which one it is.
I think it's
probably just the normal one, so that you pay extra for the DLC, I suppose. But yeah, like I played through the campaign once, I would say. I played each character in their kind of tower mode to get their each character has an individual ending, and then might have done a couple of matches against people when they came over. It's like, you're looking for a 2-player game. There's really not many nowadays.
No.
So fighting games are a good one to throw on if you're wanting to fight against each other. I mean, couch co-op now. There's plenty of online multiplayer, but the couch co-op has suffered, I think. But I think a lot of that time might have to do with the crypt.
Oh, maybe actually.
And exploring the crypt, which was a mini game in itself, which is interesting to me because Mortal Kombat 11 had fuck all hours on mine. And I have a feeling the difference between the two is, even though the crypt in that one is like a 3-dimensional thing, I didn't like it as much. And I didn't spend much time in there. And I just have a feeling that actually built up a lot of the hours because there's a lot of exploration.
That's a mental amount though.
It is because it's a short. Fighting games are typically short. I'm really surprised, and I don't consider myself I like a couple of fighting games. I usually, because they're a large roster of characters.
That means you spent as much time in Mortal Kombat 10 as I did in, I think, completely 100% in Ghost of Tsushima.
Yes. It means currently I've spent more time in Mortal Kombat 10 than I've spent in Ghost of Tsushima.
Fuck.
I haven't 100% Ghost of Tsushima. That's not right.
No.
Because one of them I like a lot, and the other one is fine.
I think that's going to be a running theme of this.
Which is weird, right? You would surely assume that the game you like the most is the one that you most played. Now, some of mine I actually do like a lot, and it'll show, but that one really surprised me. But Eric, do you want to give us your number 5? Or should I come to Adam first?
Sure. Whichever. Which one do you want to do?
Well, wait, maybe we should go up the steps. Adam, what's your number 5?
Okay, at 99 hours.
Jesus Christ.
This I think this makes sense though. Is Destiny 2?
Okay.
Oh, right, yeah.
Right,
because it's like the campaign as well as doing online, and Destiny 2 is one of those games where, if I had nothing to play, like there'd be lots of times where you're kind of. It's really only in the last 3 years of the PS4 generation was it like game after game after game. But before that, like we'd be waiting ages for games to come out. There would always be that like kind of slow period. Destiny was one of those games that I would just chuck on, and then like go do a mission or go collect some stuff or just do up my character. So that way, I used to play this with Brian a lot, so I'd be waiting for him to come online, and then I'm now at the same level because he plays an awful lot of this, but he'd be at a higher level than me, so I would want to go grind to get to a good enough level so I could do the same missions as him. So that's not surprising for me. I would do a lot of the multiplayer as well, going on to the Crucible and stuff, and playing a lot of that online. So I think online games make sense to be spending a lot of time like that because you just jump in and play it.
I actually thought Destiny was going to be higher up in your list.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, what the fuck is coming? But yeah, 99 hours.
99
number 5.
hours. Destiny 2.
Lads. I think it's fair to say as well. I think PS4 is one of the areas I game the least.
You think so?
Well, yeah, well, way less than PS3. Way less. Having a job that keeps you away from home is a big factor, I think.
I don't know. I thought you were playing a lot more games this gen.
This last year, all the really good. Like, for the first 2 years, I fucking hardly touched the PS4.
That's true.
Yeah.
There's nothing to play on it, like.
Yeah, there was.
Which is why I'm so surprised at the. Fucking hell. But yeah, I would say Destiny is one though that if people have played it, that probably is one that people have.
I think games like that.
Yeah.
I imagine Fortnite like for a lot of people.
Call of Duty. I'd say Call of Duty is probably really high on a lot of people's lists.
Yeah, and does it count when you're playing online?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's count of all that as well. Yeah.
Yep.
There's no way I got 126 hours on the For Honor campaign.
Well, I would fucking hope not. You must know that game inside and out, no?
Oh, it's a great game. It's actually really good.
Eric, what was your number 5 spot?
Right, my number 5 spot was the Arkham Knight.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, I was quite surprised with that. With 153 hours.
Wow. Holy shit.
Do you do everything in that game? Like absolutely everything?
Yeah, but multiple times as well. Sure.
Oh, how many times did you play it?
I think I've cleared it twice.
Right.
But I've played it a few times. But recently was the first time I've actually ever gotten the Nightfall Protocol ending.
Actually, sorry.
Before what the fuck do you have? What the?
I don't.
I think before we continue, I think it's now we should guess what the most played game is of all of us, and you kind of don't say yes or no. We'll see if we're right.
Oh yeah, we'll see.
Because
as we go along.
Otherwise, we can do a process of elimination at the very end. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Okay. So we'll come back to that just after we talk about Arkham Knight here with Eric.
Yep.
And, what'd you say? 156? Is that what you said?
153, Chris. Let's not be ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
156.
Sorry. How? You've never
I don't know how.
The Nightfall Protocol before?
I've never done that. I've never beaten Riddler before until quite recently.
What the fuck do you do? Just glide around for a couple of hours just to build up the fucking...
It
It's
might
not
have
that
been.
long a game.
It's really long.
It's
It
not.
is a long game.
No, but it's not that. It's about... I would say all in all, it's probably a 20 to 30 hour game.
That's a long game though for a
Yeah,
campaign. That's long.
Like I'm actually like the
Only if you do all the side missions and stuff.
when I was playing it.
No,
No, actually, the campaign is.
the campaign is long. It's about Last of Us 2 long.
Also, like.
So.
Yeah, it's about 30 hours long. It's actually quite a because if you play like Arkham Knight or Arkham City, I used to think those campaign like Arkham City was quite a long campaign game, and then I was like, it's actually really short. And then you play Arkham Knight, and you're like, oh my god, this night is like not ending at all. Like this is like some fucking Final Fantasy.
Never
15.
ending night.
It's like Final Fantasy 15 or something like where the sun has just disappeared, has died, and now there's only nighttime or something. Because it just goes on. The fact that the campaign is real time and the campaign alone is for 30 hours, you have to take into account. It's now been nighttime for 30 hours in Gotham.
When you have a moon that big though.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Nights last forever.
So there's the campaign.
The sun is actually hidden behind the moon.
There's the side missions. There's doing the Riddler challenges, which I did do a good few times because I like obviously a lot of times I did try to complete it and just couldn't. Then there's the DLC on top of that. Then the AOR challenges, which I would have done a few of as well. Then there's just going off to make a cup of tea while it's on the main menu. I mean, you know?
Yeah, leave it on in the background as well.
That making a cup of tea probably took 100 hours.
Yeah, that's a good point. You go off to get dinner for like an hour.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Fucking hell. I didn't expect that to be in your top 5 actually.
Neither did I.
That's a lot. That is quite a lot of hours for that game, though, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
I would think so. I would think so. Let's guess then before we go further what the top 1 is going to be for each of us. I think I'm going to be wrong, but just based on how much you talk about it, Adam, I mean my guess is going to have to be Skyrim.
Okay.
So I'm guessing Skyrim number 1 for Adam.
Yeah, I was either going to go Skyrim or Death Stranding.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. And then for you, Eric, again, I could get very surprised by this, but I'm going to have to guess The Witcher 3, because I'm pretty sure you've said before that you've 100%ed that twice or something like that, and then you had started a third playthrough, and that's a ridiculously long game with lots of, and all the DLCs and shit, so I'm going to have to guess The Witcher 3.
Okay.
Adam, I don't know if you didn't see it, did you?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. So what would you guess?
For you, Chris, my guess would have been, I think I'm going to go with Uncharted 4. I think could be way off, but that's what I think is your longest. And then for Eric, the same is The Witcher. Just because, he did say how I think that's a 60-hour game. The campaign alone.
I would say so easily.
3 times.
Yeah. Oh, 3 times is cleared.
That alone is 180 hours. Then there's the extra shit you can do in it. So we're definitely talking, I think, 250 hours at least for The Witcher 3.
Oh, we're talking ridiculous shit for Witcher 3. It have to be. We're gonna be like, Eric, you really need to see a specialist or something.
So I think Uncharted 4 for you, Chris, and I think Witcher 3 for Eric.
Ooh, for Chris. I was going to go with Final Fantasy VII Remake, but he hasn't had it very long. So, I mean, what games do you even have, Chris?
A lot of
He
games.
has like the same games as us. Yeah, For Honor. He's never even heard of that game.
Turns out For Honor is my number one, and I'm like, wait, what? I'm so surprised. I've never even played that game.
Like, yeah, okay. I'm actually gonna go with either Horizon or Spider-Man, actually, for Chris.
All right.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. That's
So we're number 4 spot now, right?
I just got a notification, so in the recording, people may just hear a big ass notification ding.
And if they don't, then they've just heard Adam describe it. Ding. Yeah, my number 4 spot. Again at a measly at a measly 76 hours. But I actually have a feeling that there's more for this one. I was kind of surprised. Is Final Fantasy 15.
I mean, yeah, that's a long game.
Sorry, how many hours?
76.
76. Yeah.
And you played
That
DLC
makes
as
sense.
well for it and everything, so...
I played DLC. I played through the campaign twice, I think. And
Yeah.
then I played a little bit of it a third time.
Yeah.
And yeah, I played all the DLC and did a lot of running around and exploring and stuff. I you know what, I'm not surprised by that one, even though it's a game that I don't hold as highly as a lot of other games. Like, for example, you know, the like, I'm just gonna spill the beans here now. Skyrim is not in my top 5, right? But that's because I
You
think
have
most
that on
of my...
PS4.
Yeah, I have it on PS4,
Alright.
but I spent an awful long time on the PS3 on it, and then also on the Xbox 360 on it. You know, so that's not counted. But that's obviously a game I hold much higher than Final Fantasy 15. But in this context, it's just showing. But I think as well, like there's some other games and stuff. Their campaigns are even shorter than Final Fantasy 15. So even if you've played it multiple times, so it feels like you've played it more, it turns out you actually haven't.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed 15 quite a lot, actually. Especially at the time that I had it. I got around Christmas, and you just have a nice chunk of time when you're off to just continually play a game. I think it's a really great time to play games at Christmas time, because you can it's not that you're going, right, I can get an hour in tonight and then I gotta go to bed and start work again or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can actually play large chunks of a game. I really enjoyed 15, and the movie came out with it at the same time as well. As though it just seemed like there was sort of a universe to jump into, even though the tone is not quite the same.
Oh god, no.
From the film to the, you're kind of like, oh man, I wish this game had the tone of the film. But there's still some shit in there, I think, and the soundtrack in particular, like Apocalypse Noctis is badass.
The music's really, the soundtrack's really good, and the designs of the locations, like they really feel.
Oh, Altissia is.
Altissia, yeah.
You want to go there? Like, it's beautiful, stunning. Yeah,
just the size of the some of the creatures.
Yeah, I think that
like
that amount of hours kind of makes sense for that kind of game.
Yeah,
I expect most open world-ish kind of games that have somewhere within the 50 to 70 hour mark, I think.
Yeah. Oh, easily. I'm not surprised that one was in my top 5. That one didn't surprise me at all. Because I do remember sharing lots of photos from my game by playthrough of it. I did spend a lot of time on it at the time that it came out. So yeah. And then they released the Royal Edition, and that gave a reason to play it again to see what changes had been made to it and stuff. So it is one I've revisited. There we go. But 76 hours is probably still fucking laughable compared to whatever Adam and Eric's top 4 are. So Adam, what was your number 4 spot?
I actually do think this is kind of surprising. And I'm glad to see it up there because, you know, I think one thing that we can take from this discussion is just because we played them the most doesn't make a quality game.
Yeah, but
at all.
that's the
Like
surprising part.
Our favorite games are definitely much shorter experiences. But this one is probably one of my favorite games, probably my favorite game of the PS4 era, and that is Uncharted 4 at 100 hours.
Wow.
On the dot.
How is that even possible?
You should never play that again now.
Well,
as at 100.
the online, I suppose, maybe.
Yeah, but I don't
Yeah,
remember
true.
playing that much online. Like I did play a bit, but I didn't play that much.
Did you 100% the game? Like get all the treasures and stuff as well? Like, so you would have.
But like, how many
campaign
times
multiple times?
you played through that campaign? Do you think?
3 times maybe.
Like,
Maybe.
I will say,
twice. Definitely twice.
I've recently that didn't show because we played on Ash's account.
Oh yeah.
Stop playing games on Ash's account now. In
Just
case discussions like this
make
come
those
up again.
numbers.
Get those numbers up. Yeah, because we as when she wants to play a game, I play with her. But it's definitely because we played through all of them. It's definitely the longest Uncharted.
Yeah, it
I
is.
kind of forgot how long it is. It really is the
yeah.
longest of the 4 games. And also, I don't know if we're ever going to do a tier list at some point, but previously I'd said Uncharted 2 was the best Uncharted game. Haven't played them all in a row.
4 is the best
I
one.
gotta say, Uncharted 4 is the best one.
4 is the best. Yep.
It is the best Uncharted game because it just encompasses the whole experience, but then it takes it to a deeper level.
And
100 hours.
And swinging on ropes is tight.
Oh man. It's barely an inconvenience. The only thing that annoys me on Uncharted 4 is how much you have to use the sliding mechanic.
Yeah, that one,
I
and
felt
also
that got old fast.
as a replay, like especially if you're trying to go for a completionist run, the kind of slower paced walking around as a kid, those sections can get super fucking annoying. They're amazing the first time.
Yeah.
First time playing it, it's like this is so cool. But
Yeah.
when you've seen it and you're just trying to get through it, that is really frustrating because there are treasures in those kid sequences, you know? So you have to try and get them.
I agree with that. And I think of the Uncharted games, 1 and 2 are the quickest to jump into. You will get to action faster in those 2.
Yep.
Because both 3 and 4 do this
much more cinematic build up.
Go back in time thing, and it takes a real long time to really get to that point. You're like, okay, now I'm in Uncharted, you know. Which again, amazing the first time you see it, but there is a point where you're like, this bit, you know.
Yeah, sitting at 100 hours Uncharted 4.
Wow. Eric.
Wow.
There's just gonna be loads of fucking Screen Rant references throughout. Yeah. Eric, your turn. Number 4.
This one was a big shocker for me, honestly.
Okay.
Okay, this one
Will
was
be a
like
shocker for us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So at 161 hours.
This is only his number 4. What the fuck is going on?
I don't know. Wait for it. It gets better. The Phantom Pain.
160 what?
1 hour. I don't know how. I don't know how. The campaign can't be that long. I did not play the campaign twice. All right. I don't understand.
But you didn't play like
the multi for like an hour
I
maybe.
You and Adam playing that game a lot, and me just
That's how long the
refusing to
campaign
play it
was.
because I was just so upset with it.
Yeah.
The campaign was that long. No, I did try. I suppose I might have played a few extra missions just to try get everything, try get all the like extra weapons and armor and outfits and develop everything. But 161 hours.
Did you enjoy it?
No.
None of it. You must have enjoyed some of it.
It's
something I don't like.
I remember there was a time where I was like, maybe it's not as bad as what I thought it was. So I put it on and I was playing it for a bit, and then went, nope, it's worse. It's worse than what I thought.
And now I've spent 161 hours on it.
It's in my top fucking 5 over games I actually like.
Yeah. Well, that's just how it goes.
That's a funny one.
Oh god.
Oh, just very briefly, and I suppose at the time that this comes out, it will have been kind of news from a week or two ago, but at the time of recording, it only came out like 2 days ago. Just very briefly, how do you feel about Oscar Isaacs being cast as Solid Snake?
Yeah, I think it's a good match. Personally,
I mean, he's a really, I've seen him in some stuff. He's a really good actor. So, and the fact that what's also comforting is that he said he wanted to do the role, or at least even wanted to be part of the project. So now we have a director who's passionate about the project, and now an actor who's going to play the main role and is passionate about the project, which is very comforting rather than just getting anybody just to do the film just to get it out. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So because we've seen what it's like when you get fans to do adaptations, such as The Lord of the Rings. When you get people who are passionate about it, they'll put their love and effort into it to make something good. Mm-hmm. So hopefully it will be good.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I don't think it's like the best casting ever. Like, I'm not like, oh, they've nailed it. But at the same time, I don't think it's a bad casting, and I've seen much worse. I think he's a really good actor. And yeah, I think you're right. The fact that he did mention once that, you know, he wants to be in Metal Gear Solid, if they rang him, that's a character he'd play. Shows that he's aware of, like, it's kind of like Henry Cavill wanted to play Geralt because he was actually a fan of the game, and he sought that role, you know. And I think that's, you know, because a lot of people previously didn't put a lot of, you know, seriousness on games, or take it seriously as a art form. So when you hear an actor who's like, no, I've played the games and I want to be that character, then you go, oh man, that's fucking cool. So I'm pretty happy about it. I also think it's a great sign to see that there's not unknowns playing. Like, you know, we did talk previously about the Tom Holland thing, and, you know, people can feel how they want about it, but it is great that there's, I think that Tom Holland playing Nathan Drake and Oscar Isaac playing Solid Snake, like, these are well-known actors. And they've got a lot of experience at this point. There seems to be a little bit of belief going into these films.
Yeah.
You know? Or you could look at it as maybe they're just using them as a selling point, and there's not much belief in the, you know, you could look at that either
I think
way.
Tom Holland is that. I think that is a whole, sure, look, people just go to see it because he's in it. I don't know if, like, Oscar is, like, I don't know how much weight he carries necessary to, like, he's not Tom Cruise, he's not, you know, Robert Downey Jr. You know, I don't know if he necessarily would, not to insult him or anything like that, it's just to do with, you know, how much roles he's been in, and, you know, I don't know if he's a selling point for the film, and that's why I'm happy with it. That they've picked someone who is a really, really good actor, and that's the point, and that's all that matters. I think realistically, anyone, once you put them in costume, are going to be transformed. So although it may not have the look that you imagined, maybe it's hard to know, considering Solid Snake is supposed to look like Christopher Walken. That was the inspiration for the art design.
Right.
So yeah,
wow, imagine Christopher Walken.
I know.
Solid Snake.
that was the reference. It was
what a dream.
It was Christopher Walken from Deer Hunter, I think it was. It was like that's what Kojima had in his head.
Whoa,
that's what
surveillance
that's
camera.
what Solid Snake should look like. So, you know,
guy. Oh, let's get fucking Christopher Walken to play Big Boss. It'd be so good.
Yeah,
no, I am fucking joking.
But yeah, I'm happy enough with the decision.
And you know what? That might be a topic for another time, talking about actors playing video game characters and who we might like to see in the future. But I just thought while Metal Gear Solid was mentioned, I did see something that kind of annoyed me, and it was you know, there was plenty of articles that were saying Oscar Isaac has been cast as Solid Snake, and they would have a side by side of Oscar Isaac and Solid Snake, obviously, right?
Right.
Because people often judge it visually rather than
yeah.
But one of the articles, and I was going to comment underneath, and I think it was entertainment.ie, but I'm not sure which one it was actually. And then I went, you know what, fuck it, who cares? No one cares what I think, so I'm not going to.
Yeah.
But it was a picture. It was Oscar Isaac, and it said, "Yeah, Oscar Isaac has been cast as Solid Snake." And then it was the picture of Big Boss from the Phantom Pain, and I was like, "That is not the character that he's playing."
I actually did see someone
that kind of
do a piss take response on that, because there's a good few articles that are doing that where they're kind of.
Oh right.
Because what can they say at this point? You know, so the only thing that they can make an article on is just, well, I guess we can only just compare how the two characters look. You know?
Yeah.
So there's one person I seen did a piss take where they're like, "Oh my god, he looks exactly like him," and they just put a picture next to the pixelated Solid Snake.
That's funny. Yeah. So then back to the topic at hand. My third game. Again, nowhere near as high as the fucking crazy numbers you guys are pulling out. But at 78 hours, Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Wow.
Okay.
Top five.
Pretty good.
Which I was pretty happy about. Like, that's only a game this year.
Because that hasn't got as much, like, you know, this it's not an open world game.
No.
It's a linear experience.
Yeah.
So that's pretty surprising. That is that a longer game than Last of Us 2?
I don't think so. I think it's a similar length.
Oh, right, okay. Because it didn't feel
But it's just that I replayed it fully twice, doing everything that I could in it. Apart from the hard mode shit, I haven't actually like the final bosses on hard mode or whatever. And then I was replaying through it a third time, and then Ghost of Tsushima came along, and then I jumped onto that. So I haven't gone back to my third playthrough of 7 Remake.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm not too surprised by that, to be honest. Again, there was a lot of games that just didn't grasp me on the PS4 era enough that like I would do one playthrough and I was kind of done with it. I wouldn't really come back to it. Whereas this was one, you know, and I've said it before, it was my favorite game this year. I think this shows it. It was the game this year I put the most amount of time into. I will be revisiting it again. Ghost of Tsushima is one that I will replay again as well. But it's so, I think when a game is so long and there's so much to do, it takes me longer to come back to it. Whereas when one is like just a smooth ride the whole way through, I'm like, let's jump on that train again. That was fucking great, you know. And it's like, let's do it again. So, but yeah, I still probably not a lot. Well, I'm curious because I don't know if 7 Remake made it. I doubt it made it into your top 5s then, because you are talking in the fucking hundreds, and there's no way you spent.
I think mine could have been.
It's interesting that of the three of us.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It could be similar, couldn't it? It's just that.
Yeah.
Okay, I got nothing.
It could be.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember.
I'm gonna need to get all the way off my back about the hours.
Look. You'll see as we go through. Like some of these games, are just not. It's they're alright. Like they're alright games. They just so happen to spend a shit ton of time in them.
Yeah. So Adam, what's your number 3?
At 122 hours.
Yeah.
Skyrim.
Oh shit! What? There's 2 other games. What the fuck? Okay, 122.
Well, I actually think I think that's kind of surprising. It's 122 hours.
It's still quite a lot, especially because you would have played it on PS3 more, because that would have been your first time playing it.
Yeah,
right?
I would have played it multiple times on PS3, and now again on PS4. And obviously that doesn't count also the amount of hours I put into the Switch version, or the VR version, or the PC version.
Holy shit!
You have too many versions of it.
Or the mobile version.
I'm still waiting for that
or the
Amazon
real-life
Echo version and the fridge version.
Yeah. So that means just the standard PS4 version, 122 hours.
Yeah, and I haven't even gotten into the DLC yet at that point.
Oh,
I played Dawnguard. I played Dawnguard. I haven't done the Dragonborn I haven't even touched Heartfire.
Oh man, Heartfire is the best one. So good.
Yeah, I
It's so
imagine
good.
I
You
could
get to build a
easily
house
be
and
up into. I could easily be up into the
adopt a
300
child.
hours. I did adopt a child in it though, but I just
child run around with you.
No, I stuck them in what's it called, Home Breeze? Is that what's called?
Oh yeah,
In
Breeze Home.
In Breeze Home.
yeah, Home Breeze is the fragrance you get
Yeah.
to make Breeze Home smell nice. You can buy that from the Jarl / Whiterun, I believe.
Oh, right, okay, very good.
You go, oh, you want some Home Breeze? I don't know where I'm going with that.
Yeah, so 122 hours Skyrim, but that's a platinum run. So I guess that kind of makes sense. So what, like, what the reason that took
all the deep stuff as well, isn't it?
Yeah, like it would have been absolutely everything in the game, in the base game. But the reason it would have taken so fucking long is because there's a trophy, and I think it's the hardest trophy in the game. Not because of difficulty, just because of how tedious it is to get. I think it's 100,000 gold in your pocket.
Yeah.
So you have to walk around with 100,000 gold. And the reason that's so difficult is because you'll be scavenging things, and although there's a certain value on them, you don't necessarily get that amount from the the barters and stuff. They only have a certain amount of coin as well, so you can only sell a certain amount to them before you've made them bankrupt as well. So, and you can only carry a certain amount of objects. So you have to get your speech up to level like 100 to get the actual maximum value out of your stuff. Then you need to be able to find things that are worthwhile selling, and then you need to go to every single seller that you can possibly go to, because they don't actually have enough to buy everything off you. It takes ages. It takes 122 hours.
Oh, fucking hell.
It's a fucking... That's definitely my longest platinum. In terms of getting a platinum, that one took the longest. Absolutely.
You should get a tattoo that says that, my longest platinum.
Skyrim.
No, don't explain.
I'm happy it's in there, though. In my top 5 longest played.
Well, I thought it was going to be number 1, so now I'm like, what the
I think you're gonna be shocked by number 1.
It's gonna be Arkham Knight.
No,
the game he hates the most.
It's gonna be the Walking Dead Telltale series or something.
Yeah.
That's really not possible.
And just episode 1, season 1. Just a free one, because I won't pay it.
Has it gotten fucking darker where I am, or is that? Just
no,
me?
you're alright. You're okay.
You're alright. Don't worry about it, man.
Yeah,
You're good.
Don't worry about it. I can't see it, but it's fine.
Perfect. That's the kind of thing I'm going for.
We can hear you, but we can't see you.
You're trapped behind glass. Anyone ever remember Burnt Face Man?
Yeah, I do.
I quote Burnt Face Man, I think, all the time. You shit.
Was that on Newgrounds? Was that a Newgrounds thing, or was it something else?
Newgrounds thing that then moved over to YouTube.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Anyway, Eric.
Right.
You're number 3.
Spot. This one also really, really, really surprised me.
And will the next one after that really, really, really,
no,
surprise you?
The next two didn't surprise me at all.
Okay.
This one did. So it's with 275 hours.
What the what the shit? What the like? Are you? This is not the PS4 era as well, Eric. Fucking hell, man.
Is Dragon Age Inquisition.
Oh my god. What?
I know. That's what I thought. I was fucking like, oh.
How did you pour that many hours into that game?
I don't know. I don't remember playing it that much. I only cleared the game once. I've only cleared it once. I
wonder if your account has been hacked.
I tried to play
your games on your account or something.
Maybe. Like, I tried to play it multiple times, and then went, nah, the combat's so bad, I just couldn't do it. So I don't know how the hell I have 275 hours on it.
I'm pretty sure I put on Dragon Age Inquisition and played like
the start.
2 hours of. I am definitely.
You'll be surprised. You'll actually go back and it's 30 hours.
I think it'll turn. I am definitely, of the three of us, like the most critical when it comes to games. Like, I give them way less of a chance. Definitely way less of a chance than fucking Eric.
Definitely.
276 hours and then went, yeah, it's okay.
Man. Stop making it sound so
Yeah,
bad.
I'm like into like, what was it, like 15 hours I think into Bug Snacks right now. Man, it's fucking awful, but I'm gonna clear it. Like,
are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious. Yeah, I'm like.
I didn't even download it. I just went, that's definitely not for me.
Well, I just thought I'd give it a shot.
15 hours is not a shot.
I'm like, see, here's like, I'm convinced. There's something else in that game, right? There's something like a deeper level shit in that game. Like, I'm so convinced there is.
Fucking shit. Are you even enjoying it?
the tasks are kind of fun, but the game is cringy as fuck. Like, it's really like cringy. But that's the thing. I'm wondering, is it like when you think about it, you have to collect these little animals to feed to these people, and they turn into those animals basically. So some of them were talking about like experimenting, eating a person who has turned into the thing, because would that change them? Like, so I'm kind of like, is there something like is this disguised as a children's game, but there's like some like
this is actually a vegan campaign?
Well, I'm that's why I'm going to clear it. I want to find out, I'm probably just going to waste my time, but I'm going to clear it.
You know what? I'll just ask you how did it go. Like, fucking hell.
10 out of 10 wouldn't recommend.
I actually have recently gotten more critical and would give games less of a chance nowadays.
You're awful. You should be like me and give games all the chance ever.
Because I started playing Greedfall, and it was on it. And I said that I only played like about an hour, and I was like, yeah, that's about right, because I did not give that game a chance at all. Right. That fucking started terribly. So bad. Anyway,
for me, I remember saying this we were doing some sort of training thing, and we all had to talk about certain stuff, and I ended up bringing up a point, and then the instructor told me I'm wrong, and I was like, I don't think I am, because it was like about your own life and your own opinions. It was a bit weird. It was like, open up, tell us something. Went, yeah, no, you're wrong. What? So anyway, we're talking about like time, and time as a resource, and like my free time is precious. Like, it really is. I really see it as like, I don't get as much as I would like,
right?
Which is why, you know, I had to make certain changes recently, and we'll be looking to make more. But so if I'm playing a game and it's not fucking great, there is no way I'm going to keep playing it, because I'm like, well, I've got 2 hours before to go to bed, and this is shit. So,
do you not think though? Is it not like, because do you ever find that like you either watch maybe not a TV show but a film at least, right? And you're like, oh, I'm fucking in it now, so I might as well see it to the end.
Do you know what? I will say I'm probably more inclined to finish a film.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be a self-contained story within a 2-hour window, maybe sometimes
it's not
longer.
It's not going to take as much time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
TV shows.
Yeah, TV shows I can't. Like
TV shows I'm so critical.
I couldn't get through.
Way worse at them than I am with games.
Yeah, I couldn't get
through.
If
the first episode doesn't grab me, that's it. I'm not waiting until the second episode.
Or second or third season.
Oh, yeah. If someone says, "Oh, wait till you get to the 4th season, then it gets good," I'm like,
no fucking way.
Yeah. Many people have said, I think it was Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad, yeah.
Yeah, Breaking Bad, like, it's so good. Everyone was talking about it. And then I was like, I watched like the first 3 episodes. I didn't really think it was that good. It's not even that funny, because it looks like a comedy. It's Bryan Cranston, and like the image on Netflix is him
definitely
not wearing
not a comedy.
No, it's not a comedy. But it's Bryan Cranston, known for Malcolm in the Middle. And when you have the image on Netflix, he's standing there in a green shirt holding a gun, wearing no pants and a diaper. Like, this looks like a comedy. Right? And at first episode, and I was even thinking to myself, maybe it's like a dark comedy or something, you know, like that's like at first it starts off as sort of like a dark comedy, and I was like, nah, like none of this. And then I was like, I just couldn't get into it. I think it's a bit boring. And then they're like, oh no, it gets really good at like season 3. And I'm like, season fucking 3? Are you shit me? The first 2 fucking seasons are crap. Fuck that. Then I'm not wasting my time. I'm gonna go watch The Boys or something, which is actually good.
I think a lot of people liked it from the very get-go, and
no, I've heard that as well, where people say you kind of have to hold off till season 3 and then it gets good. I've heard that as well from Breaking Bad, but I do feel like a lot of like, and I'd say it does get good. I'd say maybe they improved the writing, they got into the gist of it, they know where they're going a bit better with it. That's probably true, but I imagine as well a lot of audience reception to it is just FOMO. It's like just people wanting to be involved in the discussion. Therefore, they watch it so that they can also join in the discussion.
Yeah.
And I felt that with The Walking Dead as well. And Game of Thrones, right? I think like a lot of people just watch them just so.
Well, they can get like the shows that everyone's talking about.
Exactly.
Right?
It's like the topic. It's topical. Yeah. So regardless of whether they're enjoying it or not, and I think that's why people get more critical of those shows as it goes on, because people have talked it up. They're not as good as everyone makes them out to be. They're fine. All those shows are actually fine, We're just leaving it at that. Stop holding them up to a pedestal, like.
Yeah. I still have to finish the Walking Dead, or at least what I want to finish Rick's story. I don't. That was the worst. I don't know why they did that. When he was leaving the show, they told everyone, and they told everyone, so it's going to be Rick's last season. And it's like, why didn't you just wait till after everyone gets to that episode where he dies? It'd be the biggest shock ever, because you never kill off your main character, and then announce that he has actually left the show, so that you know it's real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like, you've just spoiled the whole season. So every episode you're watching and you're going, is this the one where he dies then? And that's the only topic you can have in your head. You're not really focusing on anything else.
Yeah.
And it kind of soured the experience a little bit. So I haven't actually finished, I think that's season 9.
Wow.
Yeah, I think they're on season 10 now.
They're on season 11.
How many hours did you put into that?
The Walking Dead? Quite a lot. I quite enjoyed the show, I must say. I will admit that season 1 and 2 are not as strong as later seasons. It does get better.
I think I watched the first. I think I watched the first 3 episodes, and I just didn't bother then.
It started off as like, I know season 1 is only like 6 episodes. It started off as this kind of like small serialized drama, and then it just turned into this huge, like 24 episode per season show. But yeah, there's some real fucking dark shit in it that I thought was really good.
So would you reckon now that, because I don't watch much TV shows like at all.
Neither do I.
I would spend more time gaming, but would you find that you're watching more shit than gaming, if with your spare time?
Not now, but I was. Yeah, because I might get home and it's like after having dinner or whatever, it's like there's an hour before I gotta go to bed and I gotta get up early again. I can't really get into a game in an hour. But I could watch one episode or something.
That's one thing I'm really enjoying about, or looking forward to this gen. I think you can now.
Yeah.
Because you'll literally just be able to boot it up and you're into a game. Whereas beforehand, it was a matter of booting up the console, putting in the disc, waiting for it to load, turn your activate your save file, wait for your loading screen. You're into the game now, and you go, "That was sweet. Turn it off."
Yeah. Well, as awful as this year has been, right, for so many different things.
Yeah.
Just on a personal level, it has been really good for me to be able to play games and fall in love with games again.
Yeah.
Because I've actually had that more time to do it. Because I couldn't, I wouldn't have gamed at all this summer. At all. Not for one day. If the world was normal. Because I would have been somewhere every day. That's not my house. Yeah. So, I'm really kind of thankful for the time I've had to myself, and to be able to actually play these games, especially the year of Final Fantasy VII Remake. Fuck, man, there's no way that'd be 78 hours for. Thank you, COVID.
Yeah. That vaccine is going to bring the end of Chris's gaming.
Well, we'll see about that. I might come against the curve here. Anyway, I'm gonna come to my number 2 spot now.
Okay.
Actually, before I do, I want to make a quick guess. I think when I said that Eric's number 1 is The Witcher 3, and I still think it is, I think his number 2 is XCOM 1 or 2.
All right.
That's what I think. It's got to be. My number 2, and this did surprise me, at a whopping 88 hours. Have you noticed I haven't even hit 100 yet? Final Fantasy X Remastered.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
88 hours.
Jesus.
And can I tell you something else?
Yeah.
And I love this game. I have never cleared Final Fantasy X.
Ever?
So I have never ever beaten Lady Unaleska.
Man, I've beaten you, Evan. Come on, man.
Hold on. I have done the end of the game, but it was on a fucking cheat memory card.
Oh yeah.
That was given to Adam from someone else that had all the characters totally fucking incredible. All level 99, all sphere grids filled, all special weapons, all fucking summons. So I've done the ending, but I myself have not cleared that game, if you know what I mean. I have not from start to finish played the whole thing.
It's a tough game.
I can't beat Lady Unaleska. Ever. And it's because I haven't got the patience to grind enough at a certain point when you get to the Camlands, because you're like, but the story is so good. I just want to keep going. I get to the next cutscene.
It's a pity with all those remasters that they didn't include, the little kind of cheat things that are in 7 and 9.
Yeah, because I found when I was doing...
They're so handy.
7 even. If you just want to do like a story playthrough,
It's perfect for that. Yeah.
it's perfect for
Just
that.
fly through it.
And for 10, I think I would because I actually really enjoy the combat in 10, and for most there's some of the boss fights in that I actually really enjoy, like even the Evray, which is like the big flying red dragon.
That dick.
That dick, yeah. I actually enjoy that boss fight now.
I got stuck on him for like a summer.
I know.
A whole summer.
He is a bastard. But there's like when you get into the flow of like, okay, now I have a system now and I'm gonna take this fucker down. And when you do, you're like, fuck yeah,
I remember when I was doing Final Fantasy 7 on like the PS1 version. I was using the cheat codes, and I got to the end. I got the Sephiroth. He has a 6-wing form. I think I had Cloud, Tifa, and Barret. I was ending it how I essentially began it, like with the team I began, right?
Yeah.
And then he does his big fuck off final move.
Supernova.
His supernova. And I was like, shit, everyone's dead now, right? Okay, because like it doesn't actually bring everyone's health to 9,999. It just allows them to refill.
Right, yeah.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
But he decimated pretty much everybody. Cloud ended on 1 HP and then went back up. And I was like, oh my god, because Tifa and Barret died. I was like, that was so fucking close. And then I killed him, and it was awesome.
Thank you, cheats.
Yeah.
So that one surprised me. The fact that I've never got past Lady Unalesca, which is when you get the airship and it opens up and you can explore the world. So had I even got past her, like that would be way more.
You might have even reached the 100s.
But it might have just got up to your tier there. I might have been on someone's fucking level here. But I love that game.
Eric has now completely surpassed me though with his third place.
Oh, yeah.
In his numbers.
I found interested as well that most of the games that ended up in my top 5 on the PS4 era were Final Fantasies.
That's true.
That's interesting, yeah.
And they racked up a lot of hours. I suppose I just
when is this Final Fantasy ever going to end?
Yeah. Final Fantasy what?
Yeah. Like I remember, I think it was in college when Final Fantasy 15 was coming out. Me and 2 of the other lads in college were talking about it, and another chap was like, "Oh, I couldn't get into them." Like, you know what I mean? Because do you have to play all of them to get it? And it's like, no, man.
I always love that.
15 and
that discussion, because people will often comment when they want to get into a Final Fantasy, like, which one should I start with? And what's great is the answer is any of them. Any of them.
Well, except for like, except 10-2 or 13, was it Lightning Returns, is it?
You kind of know that those are sequels, I think, won't you? Maybe not, I don't know.
Not if you were asking that question.
Which one do you...
Yeah, fucking idiot. But I suppose what they're asking is which one is the, cream of the crop there.
Well, 10-2 does sound like 12, doesn't it? Like,
I mean, it should have been.
Yeah, like
10 and 2 is 12.
The numbering was a bit weird.
It was stupid. It should have been just Final Fantasy 10 and a subtitle, maybe, if they wanted to do like a carry on. Like, Yuna's a badass now.
Yeah.
Or something.
Girl power.
Hashtag yeah. Anyway. Adam, what's your number 2?
My number 2 at 248 hours.
Right, I don't even have half of that.
That's what I mean. Like, Eric has already surpassed me with his number 3.
Yeah.
Is Destiny 1.
Oh, wow.
200 and what?
248 hours.
Fuck me, man. Get a life.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely played that more than 2.
Yeah.
Because when I got it, I think it was the Taken King expansion was coming out, so I would have bought the first game, then the 2 DLC. So that was a lot of content to get through anyway. But I found, like, I definitely prefer Destiny 1 over 2. The hours speak for that, I think. Just the on your own experience of just getting, like, what we call bounties and just going out and completing those bounties and then getting things and improving your character. There's a lot more solo enjoyment in Destiny 1 than there was 2, I felt. And then, of course, you could always play with others as well. But I did find that Destiny, there were a lot of hours spent in the kind of hub world area, the tower, just standing around, just chatting.
Right.
So
Okay. Yeah.
you know, is like we'd be on the group and we're chatting away and we're literally just standing there with our characters and just fucking around basically, like, you know, because there's like there was this ball that you could get and you would just like you can kick the ball up and down the tower, or there'd be areas of the tower where you're like, I wonder if you can get up there, let's try, and you just kind of create little kind of obstacles for yourself, I guess. And they actually Bungie hid things around the tower as well, so if you could get up there would be a little thing you unlock and stuff.
That reminded me of like the South Park episode where they're playing World of Warcraft and all standing. They have the characters standing there all talking to each other.
Yeah, it's exactly that. Like, cause I remember there was one challenge. I think it was Rise of Iron when that came out. There was a trophy. There was a mountain, and it was a trophy if you could get to the top of the mountain, right? And you were in the kind of the hub world area, and you look up, and the mountain looks like it's way into the background, but you see a name. You can't even see a person. You just see a name tag kind of hopping around, and next minute it just goes and then disappears. So the person fell off and died. So you'd have to start again then. You can't just summon back to where you fell off. You'd have to start the climb again. And Jesus. It was a tough climb. Like, because it's not a platforming game at all.
Right, yeah.
And if you slip a little bit, you're off. So there was an exact moment. It's like you have to jump from this exact spot, and like literally when you just get to the top, it was just like, here you go, congratulations, here's a trophy.
Do you have a jetpack?
No, there's like, it's a little bit like Halo. You've got like this anti-gravity jump, so you jump slightly higher, but you fall slowly a little bit.
Right. Okay. And you can kind of maneuver yourself during the fall.
Not really. No, like you can glide as well a little bit, but not in the hub world. You couldn't glide. Okay. So you did have to like land it perfectly, and those like I spent a good few hours just doing that, because like you'd play a few missions and you're just kind of fucking around, so you're just chatting away to your teammates while you're doing that, just kind of, it's just nothing basically. You're not doing anything. You're just arsing around. So I can understand it being, but that's a lot more than I thought it was going to be.
That's crazy, man.
240 hours.
That's ridiculous, man. What are you doing with those amount of hours?
You play more than that in Dragon Age.
Yeah, what the fuck? Like, I don't even remember
I can justify those hours.
I know I can't.
Like, you don't even
justify any of the
when
hours.
You played any of these games, do you?
No.
Like, I know I spent a lot of time in Destiny. And then, obviously, the Taken King comes out, and then there's, like, way more content, so you spend more on that. Yeah. So, I suppose something like Destiny is that when every expansion, it's, like, almost a brand new game. So, when you think about it, it's almost like I played 5 different Destinies. When you think about it, because they're like
the Taken King, especially because they actually added in like cutscenes and stuff.
I got a really great deal with that. I got that in Tesco, and it was the Taken King collection, where you get the Taken King and the original Destiny plus the 2 other expansions, which was the House of Wolves and the
Dark Below.
Dark Below. So you get all those expansions in it for €35, right? In Tesco. Even though beside it was the original Destiny base game for €70. I think Tesco thought that it was just an expansion.
Fuck.
Either that or they switched the labels or something. I don't know. But yeah, I got, like, that was a sick deal.
Wow. I'd say they changed that pretty quickly. That's like, I remember when we were in school, there was a point where people would go and get sausages on a roll from the deli.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right? And they would put 2 labels on the roll. One of them was, I don't know why they put 2 labels on it, but soon after they stopped doing it. One of them was the price of the roll, as in the bread roll, which was 30 cents. And the other one was the price of the roll with the butter with the ketchup and the sausages on it, which is like, I don't know, maybe €2, $2.50 maybe. Yeah. I don't know, something like that. But everyone was going in and going, oh, can I get the sausages on the roll there, right? Because they would have just scrounged 30 cents in their house. And everyone was just scanning the 30 cent one, paying and leaving and going, sure, that was great. Because they're able to get... Yeah. So then after a while, and it was, I remember it distinctly because there was a day when everyone went to get the same roll.
Yeah.
And they got it. And when they went up to scan it, they realized it only had the one label on it. And the security person was like, "You all right there?" I was like, "Yeah, no, I don't want it after all." There was just like this pile of rolls and sausages that no one could fucking pay for, and that was the end of that.
That's funny. Yeah.
That was funny. Eric, what's your number 2? And how many fucking how many days does it say? Or years?
Could you imagine if they get at that stage though, or just start saying the days? Right. So you were right. It is XCOM 2.
Hey!
Then we have to be right with our number 1 then, don't we?
We have
Yeah.
to. We have to be. Go on, Nick. What's
How many hours in that?
how many hours is it?
364 hours.
What the fucking
Wow.
shit? Nearly an hour for every day in the year.
Oh god, it is.
364. You ready for this? I'm going to divide that by 24 just to see how many full days you've actually put into
Well,
that game.
you divided by 12, wouldn't you? Because you know, you're definitely not
What?
playing 24 hours, are you?
No, I know. Of course you're not.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, if you were to do full 24-hour stints,
Okay.
divided by 24, that's 15.16 days, full days.
So it'll be like 30 waking hours.
Yeah.
30 waking days, sorry.
You're fucking crazy, man.
Yeah, there you go. XCOM 2.
Did that surprise you? Like,
Not really,
you
no.
did play that game a lot.
Oh, I played the shit out of that game,
Played a
and
lot
then
of
I
that
played it again, and then you know what I did?
You played
When
it
I
again?
cleared I
Yeah.
played it again.
Wow.
And then I got there's obviously all the DLCs that I would have played the shit out of, and then there was the expansion which I played the shit out of. That's such a repetitively fun game. Like, it's the same outcome every time. When it's either you lose or you win, but when you figure out all the tactics, you're always going to win. So it's the same ending all the time, but it was just so fucking good.
I'm not surprised you're number 2. I am surprised how many hours you're putting into any of these games, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm like, where the fuck are your responsibilities? Like, what the fuck is going on here? But
They left the minute I was born.
yeah. I was born with console in hand.
He probably was,
That's-
actually.
Yeah, that's how you got the PS1. I just walked out with it.
96. When was the PS1 actually came out in 94? 96 it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, the year of I was born the year of the console.
You were doomed from birth, really, to
We only adopted the console. He was born with it. Molded by it.
molded by it. He didn't see the light till he was already a man. Oh
Yeah.
man.
It was nothing to me but blinding.
I'm gaming's reckoning. Okay. I suppose we're coming to the number 1.
Number 1. Now, I guessed it being Uncharted 4 for you, Chris, but I'm not 100% sure now, considering you mentioned you played a lot on Ash's account.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
I'm sticking with
You said
Spider-Man
Spider-Man,
or
Spider-Man, wasn't it? Well, yeah,
Spider-Man
pick one.
or-
Pick one.
Pick one. Pick one.
Adam, which one's longer?
Pick one.
Horizon is longer than Spider-Man, I would say that.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Spider-Man.
Okay.
Does that make
Doesn't
sense?
doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter which one you go with there. Doesn't really matter.
Because none of them are there.
Yeah. I'm actually kind of embarrassed. Not with this game. I like this game a lot. I don't like it as much as some of the other ones that I named, actually. But I do like it a lot. And I've talked about it a couple of times. What I'm embarrassed is that it being my number 1 is still not as high as whatever number it was on Eric's fucking list.
Why would you be embarrassed by that? Eric should be
Batman
ashamed.
Arkham Knight. Batman Arkham Knight is my number 1
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that
at
game.
134 hours.
Man,
Hey,
that's a
you
long
got it,
game.
You got it to the numbers. Yeah,
Eric-
well done, man.
Eric, what was that on you? I know, obviously it wasn't your number 1, but how many hours did you put into it?
Oh, it was my number 5, and it was 153.
This is why I'm like, I could have sworn I played Arkham Knight way more than Eric. Like, what? Like,
But it must be a long game, though, then, because, like, you can't play... I don't think you played it that much, did you?
I've played that one quite a lot. Like, it didn't actually surprise me that much that it was my number 1. I find it really replayable.
Okay.
Like, of all the Arkham games, and I've said this before, that I often tiptoe between that one and Asylum as to which one's my favorite.
Mhm.
Right? I think Asylum is a better structured game,
Mm-hmm.
but Knight I find more fun to play. Not the Batmobile, but the combat is nailed. Like the actual, it's so fast, it's so fluid, and then the marking people during stealth takedowns and stuff, and you've way more gadgets and
using the environment as well against people, kind of like really showing the brutality of Batman.
The gliding around the city, is at its best in that game. There's a lot of stuff like they had definitely kind of fully realized certain stuff that they had started in the other games had been perfected by that game.
Mm-hmm.
The issue with that game is the big distractor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, and because they put all their focus on that, that's where the negative critique comes from. But all the other stuff that they should have put way more focus on, because it's actually really good. Even like when you're playing and you're fighting with one of your allies and you can switch between the two,
Mm-hmm.
like those bits are amazing. That should have been the selling point, playing as the dynamic duo, taking on thugs, which is why there's an element of Gotham Knights that really excites me. But I get so immersed in the Batman universe, and I think as well exploring all the streets and looking for those little Easter eggs and stuff might have added to a lot of the time. Because like at that, I've never defeated the Riddler, so that's not in any of those playthroughs. I've found a lot of the riddles and done a lot of them, but I always give up. I always go, fuck it, I don't care that much about the fucking Riddler. Because you can get the Nightfall Protocol without beating them, so...
Yeah, but you don't get the actual...
you can't get the full
ending.
But then, you just get sick of it and you go, someone's uploaded it to YouTube, I'll just watch that.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not that much longer. It only adds like an extra 40 seconds to the clip, like.
Yeah.
Ah, man, adds fucking
It's
hours
not good
on.
enough to warrant going through...
What was your one? 134?
134 hours, Arkham Knight.
So adds like another 11 hours on, man. You know what I mean?
I could have brought it up to you, man.
Yeah.
I could have reached your level 5. Yeah, so I'm not too surprised that one was my number one. I really enjoyed playing that game. At least for the PS4 era, I'm not surprised. Because I think, like I said, there was 2 years of PS4 gaming I really didn't do. Arkham Knight was like because I think that was 2015. That was the first PS4 game that I really liked. And so I've had that one the longest out of all of them. Therefore, you can look at it that way. There's been more chances to replay that. There's a good chance that a few years' time, 7 Remake is going to go above that, or Ghost of Tsushima, because I've only had them for a couple of months, and they're already in the conversation. So we'll see how it goes.
Interesting. So none of us got it right then.
No.
I completely forgot about that game. Like I suppose I never thought that game would ever be that length.
So,
I was surprised to hear it even in Eric's number 5.
I'm really surprised to hear it in Eric's top 5.
I just didn't think it was that long of a game. I just couldn't imagine you squeezing that much out of it. That's all.
I'm more shocked that Phantom Pain beats it.
Yeah. I now I'm really, because I had obviously guessed Skyrim was Adam's number 1, and I'm obviously wrong because that came up already at number 3, I believe. Eric, I can't. What did you guess for Adam?
I think I said Death Stranding.
You guessed Death Stranding. Is that just because of that really long ending?
It's just because the game is really long.
Yeah. No,
there's a lot of stuff to do, and I'd imagine Adam kind of 100%ed it.
No, I didn't. No.
So Adam, what was your number 1? And how many hours?
I see your 20 hours, Chris, and I see your 161 hours, Chris, or Eric, and I raise you 274 hours for the Phantom Pain.
What the hell? Do you even like that game?
No, I hate it.
What the fuck? Why? Why have you played it for that long? Why have you played it for that? Tell the court. Holy shit.
I tried so hard, obviously, to love that game. I try to force that. That's like me trying to eat greens, you know?
You know, I remember you playing that a lot, and actually I wouldn't have been surprised if it was in your top 5. If it was at the 5th spot, I would have been like, yeah, I could see that, because like we're not talking about again our 5 favorite games.
Oh fuck no, that's definitely not my favorite game.
No, I know. So, but because you didn't mention it at number 5, we were going up. I was like, it can't be number 1. So I was like, so it must be just out of his list altogether. Number 1.
4 hours.
That's insane.
Like my Dragon Age Inquisition, which is third, is 1 hour longer than your fucking Phantom Pain, but 200.
No. When you put that into perspective, that's actually way more fucking shocking.
Yeah, because I mean that game. I think I did try to do 100% run, but it just got to the point where I was like, no, fuck this. Just fuck
That's
this.
not a 100% run.
That's not a 100% run.
What the hell were you doing?
I don't know, actually. I actually cannot justify that amount of hours.
I think you were trying to develop everything or something. You were trying to do all the side challenges.
Yeah, I was doing like.
But see, here's the thing, like, because I even looked at a couple of those, like, they just fucking reload the same fucking missions over and over again in the same location.
It's really very
repetitive. I really don't know how people were able to play that game so much.
Yeah,
it is monotonous.
Because I obviously, like, that's quite a high number for that.
It's gigantic.
I can't remember any gameplay to that. My memory of that is waiting in that fucking helicopter. Like, that is my memory. Like,
maybe that is the 270
it's
24
just
hours
sitting
game.
in that fucking, like, and that's not even counting what's actually there is actually at the beginning of this, when you mentioned, is there something that stands out as kind of shocking? Yes, actually, Ground Zero's 60 hours.
What?
Yeah.
You did, but I remember you played the shit out of that and you loved it actually, Ground
Zeroes. I did 100% that one. But still, that's a half-hour campaign.
Yeah. I bought Ground Zeroes.
Yeah,
you did. Yeah.
I was on the bought it and I played it, and then I knew it wasn't going to be a full game, but I think it was charged at like 30 quid when it first came out.
It was, yeah.
And I remember finishing and going, "That's shocking." Like, I thought it was really good, and it had set up real good promise. I was still really excited for the Phantom Pain. Like, I prefer Ground Zeroes to the Phantom Pain.
I think everyone does.
But I was like, that's shocking that they charged that much for how small an experience that was.
A demo.
Really
basically.
shocking. So 60 hours as well. What the fuck?
Yeah. And I think I do think though that with the Ground Zeroes I can kind of justify that one, because in an old podcast I used to do, we would capture footage, and for one of the episodes or two of the episodes or something like that was the video was just gameplay footage of not the Phantom Pain, Ground Zeroes.
Oh, just Ground Zeroes.
No, the Phantom Pain is all me. That's me playing that game, trying to figure out. Leia.
Were you trying to figure out why everyone else loved it so much?
I think
they really did.
I did. Like, cause like this thing even won an award at the Game Awards. You know, like this game is highly praised. We were doing.
Oh, it is, yeah.
We did our didn't we do a list? It was top best PS4 games.
Did, yeah.
That was in a lot of people's lists. Like, if you look at other vendors online and stuff like that, that
became a PlayStation hit. Like, I was actually surprised it wasn't in the PS Plus collection.
Yeah, like, but I put 274 hours into that as trying to analyze and figure out where's the enjoyment, where is it?
Yeah,
that's 274 hours of disappointment.
I put in 20 hours and realized it's not there.
This is the level. This is the commitment I have to figure out a game. So, Bug Snacks could be up here.
Yeah. Well, you ready for this one? At 526 hours, PT.
yeah, PT.
It's like something tiny where it's like, how is that even possible?
It's like I
don't even have it on the PS4 anymore.
My name is Mayo. Did you ever see that game?
What the fuck?
Did you ever see that game?
I think so.
I have. It's just a mayo jar, and all you have to do is just tap the side of it. And if you tap it, I think it's like 1,000 times or something, you get a platinum trophy. It's like €3 or something.
Someone charged for that? Fuck's sake. It's cheaper to go buy a real jar of mayo and tap it.
Yeah, you don't get a platinum for it,
trophy or anything. Yeah, you won't. Yeah.
Okay.
Eric, fucking
it's
shock us.
So obviously, It is The Witcher 3.
Yeah.
You were correct from the get-go, right?
It just happened. If it wasn't, I was going to be really shocked.
Right, now I was planning on pulling your leg and saying something like The Order or something like that, but I went, nah, I don't know, right? But Chris, you scared me there when you were saying the 500 and...
No.
Right? You said 526 hours, did you, for...
Yeah, I was joking.
For PT, right? So you were close. You were close, right? It's 549 hours.
What
The Witcher 3.
Fuck?
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
Now, Eric, does this bring
I have
things
spent
into perspective for you?
Over 2 years on that game, I played it an hour a day.
Do you know what? That's good, though, because that's a game that he actually loves.
Yeah.
Can we now clarify, can we set the record straight? Is The Witcher 3 your favorite game of all time?
I mean, okay. The facts are there. Yeah. It'd have to be, wouldn't it? Like,
No, it doesn't have
No,
to
it doesn't
be.
have to be.
Look at Adams. It certainly doesn't have
My
to be.
least favorite game of all time is my most played.
I know, but the fact that this is my most played game on the PS4, and I also love it, and would probably play it again.
Would you play it again?
Yeah, I'd play it again.
Would you buy it on the Switch?
Probably.
Would you buy it on the PC?
Yeah, it's got to be. Yeah,
Would you
that's
buy
it.
it on the
That's-
Xbox?
That's how you know it's your favorite game. If you buy it multiple times and you don't
On every platform.
and if you buy a copy of it that you can't play, like you should buy it on the Xbox, whatever, just to have a
Just to
case.
have
Like Final Fantasy 7 on the PlayStation 1 is there. I don't have a PlayStation 1. I can't play that. It's useless to me. But it's not useless to me. It's not useless.
Or your vinyl, your record of Hybrid
Yeah, I've
Theory.
got vinyls. I don't have a record player. I got Metal Gear Solid on the PS1. I don't have a PS1.
You have books
the
there
fuck is
behind
doing
you.
there?
You can't even read.
I can't even read. I just got I got books just because I love the book. I don't know how to read.
That's just because you just love the feeling of breaking the spine.
Wow.
Oh.
Alright.
I wonder which you'll break first.
Your spirit or your body? Bane references and Screen Rant references. Anyway, so say that again. 500 and
49 hours. So that's completing the game 3 times.
yeah.
Doing all the Witcher contracts.
Yeah.
Doing all the side quests. Right?
Mhm.
And then doing the DLC.
That's an insane.
That's a
amount
lot
of
more
hours.
than I guessed you would have spent. What was
Yeah,
your
it was
Arkham Knight again,
280.
Chris? 100 and...
Arkham Knight was 134.
134.
It can divide into Eric's number one nearly 5 times.
Yeah.
I play 1/5 the amount of gaming that Eric does. There's got to be now some like movement to get Chris removed from the Brothers Take. He is not a real gamer. Get him out of here. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Order's gonna be a charity to get Eric a life.
Your playthrough is like double mine. Like, that's mental.
No, yeah, but you know what? I think Eric's is actually more excusable because it's double yours for a game he loves.
Yeah.
Yours is
Yeah.
that's disgraceful.
Yeah, I told you to be shocked.
274.
I told you to be shocked. I was shocked. You were shocked. We're all shocked.
But no, like there's shocked, and then there's just like
That's
you
ridiculous.
Yeah,
You need
like-
help.
You need a kamikaze or something. Like what the hell?
Alright, Eric. Fucking hell. Not that bad.
200. It is.
But then as well, when you're a
Fans that
hardcore
pay
Metal,
200.
when you're a hardcore Metal Gear Solid fan and you just want to love it, no, I can't justify that. I'm a hardcore Metal Gear Solid fan, and 20 hours in, I couldn't. So,
Yeah, I tried. I was like, there has to be something in here. Kind of like PT, the way if you keep poking, you'll find something. You'll get the actual ending. You'll get something. I just kept playing it, just trying to. And there is hidden things. There is hidden secrets throughout the game if you do certain things, but they're just not
Is that if
enjoyable.
you can listen to the 45-minute long, really boring tapes where they try to explain everything?
why did they do that?
I don't know.
Anyway,
It's
this
retarded.
is not a. Yeah. Anyway, look at so those are according to the PS5 devices at the moment that those are the most amount of hours we put into games from the PS4 era.
Do you
but we
think,
would
Chris,
love-
though, that okay, so you put extra hours into Ash's account there?
Mhm.
Do you think still Arkham Knight would have been your highest, regardless of if the numbers were correct?
Yeah, I don't know. Actually, I don't know if that or either the Nathan Drake collection or Uncharted 4 then would be on top. I think Nathan Drake collection would definitely be way higher had it taken into account the playthroughs we've done on Ash's account. But it's Arkham Knight still could have been actually. It still could have been. But I think it would have been close. I think one of them would have been in the top 5 had that come into account. But
fair play, Eric. You're a pro gamer. You're a pro gamer who can't tell us what his favorite game is.
Yeah. Yeah, and every time we mentioned the game, I was like, yeah, it was grand. Like,
yeah, it was grand. Like, yeah,
it was grand. I just put 161 hours, but I thought it was crap.
So those are our thoughts, those are our observations, I suppose, on the games we've played the most in the PS4 era. Please get in touch to let us know what games you've played the most, if you have that ability to look that up or to check it out. So, or even just what you reckon you've played the most if you don't have that. If you're like, oh, it must be this game. And then eventually you might be able to check it and surprise yourself. So if you're watching on YouTube, jump into the comments, let us know. And you can also let us know what you think about the games we mentioned and the thoughts that we shared on those particular games. Maybe you are one of the people that loves the Phantom Pain and you're like, no, I played way more hours than any of you guys. And you want to share that with us. You can also give the video thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel so you know when we put out extra content. Click that notification bell just so you get the notifications. That would be awesome. We'd really appreciate the support. And you're listening to us on audio platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you like to listen to us. You can check us out on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Brothers Take. Follow us and comment and get in touch with us. Send us a message. Let us know which games you've played the most and what you think of the ridiculous hours that some of us have put in, either too little or too much. That's it for today's episode. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye now.